Cannon Township was allocated $140,000 in CARES Act relief funding, but they turned it down, saying they didn't need it. The CARES Act established the Coronavirus Relief Fund to be given to local governments. It's meant to be used for necessary costs due to the public health emergency. But Cannon Township Supervisor Steve Grimm says they didn't have enough extra costs to accept the fund dollars.
Cannon is very careful with our budget. We plan for exigencies, whether it's tornadoes or fires or a recession or a depression. Our budget completely withstood.
The fund was to be used for any unforeseen costs incurred related to public health. Things like computers for government employees to work from home, infrastructure upgrades like plexiglass, and payroll for additional public health and safety employees.
Will not affect the residents at all.
Grimm said the township board felt it was the fiscally moral thing to do to turn down the money.
I don't want to speak for any other municipalities, but I do think that generally in our society, when there is a hint of quote-unquote free money, people line up.
As for other municipalities, we checked with some that were allocated similar fund dollars to Cannon Township. Rockford says it plans to use the money for public safety, though it has not formally accepted it yet. Cascade Township did accept the money and also plans to use it for public health and safety payroll reimbursements. And East Grand Rapids plans to use it in a similar way. Their interim manager says, quote, there is a differentiation between and amongst local governments that reflect the services and costs associated with those services for each community. Basically, East Grand Rapids has more services and therefore needs more funding. But for Cannon Township, Grimm says that was not the case.
If it's not legitimate, it seems to me you don't do it because you're taking money from people that really need the money, people, businesses, families, and just because there's plenty of it doesn't mean we ought to abuse it.
In Kent County, Elena Holland, 13 on your side.